It's me, Tim, the Mad Englishman, cooking desserts, you know, just desserts, that's me. And we have made it to Luxembourg today. Luxembourg, and this recipe is called Mini Cherry Galettes des Rois. That's my Frenchie. I think it's a Frenchy thing. Des Rois, of the Kings. And it is an epiphany dish, I think. I'm going to do this one today, and then I'm going to do Liechtenstein as well, which is going to have an epiphany feel. The thing with an epiphany dish is that you're always looking for the bean in the dish. So I'm going to make 12 of these galettes, and hidden in one of them is the bean. And if you find the bean, you get to be the king for the day. I mean, they're dishes that are in all sorts of European cultures. I think, actually, now I think about it, in North America, certainly in Mexico, New Mexico, that celebrate the three kings. They were a bit late, you see. They got the invitation late to the birth, and so they tipped up, I think, around the first week of July, Epiphany, and these various dishes, today's is Luxembourg, are all in celebration of their arrival. And everyone likes to play a game around the dish where kids get to be the king. So, we are going to make the Mini Cherry Galette des Rois from Luxembourg, and this comes from, my sweet, sweet pal Karen, who is the wife of Ian, Karen and Ian Graham, who we spent 2 or 1.5 wild years in China. Crikey, that was a mad adventure. Karen and Ian were really, truly not only our best friends, but sort of our wise older parents who looked after us, were so kind and sweet and wise. So, Karen, this Mini Cherry Galette des Rois is for you, and I hope I do it justice. Okay. This is a European recipe, so I'm going to give everything in metric. I'm sorry to all my my North American pals, but that is 60 grams of sugar, 50 grams of almond flour. I don't know why I'm slamming things on the counter. Then I've got some puff that I made, and just for the sake of things, put it in a special container to make it look professional. I've got 50 grams, which is half a stick of soft butter. I've got a couple of eggs, and then a little bit of milk, but one of the eggs and the milk is for the glaze, and then I've got the all-important 1 almond. I looked at the recipe and said, 1 almond? You what? And then realised it's for the game. And we'll get to that later. I think that's everything, and a little pinch of salt, but you know, you usually have that. So, the first thing to do is to make the frangipane, and that's a piece of cake really, isn't it? You get your softy butter. I made a point of leaving it out so that it would be nice and mixable. There's the butter. Went off screen there for a second. We're going to get our almond flour, slap that in there, and I'm also going to slap in my sucre sucre, and I'm then going to get a little spatula and do some mixy. You know, as I'm starting, I'm realising I made probably a tiny bit of an error here. I should probably have creamed the butter with the sugar first, but hey, no one's going to know. We're gonna pull through, and the secret to cooking, I find, and to acting actually, and most things in life, is just don't tell anybody. You know, just behave like that's the way it's supposed to be. Don't ever point out the mistakes. I'm breaking my own golden rule. I'm pointing out the mistakes. So anyway, okay. So there's that. Starting to look tasty. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in an egg, Eggy von Eggenberger. There it goes. No bad egg puns today. I'm sick of cracking them. You know, making yolks that nobody finds funny. Anyway, here's my frangie, looking panny. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Now, what I need to put some other stuff in here. I might have to consult. Oh, I need to put a tablespoon of boozy kirsch. Gives it a boozy but also a very cherry flavour. Kirsch, as I said, I hope I said, is cherry brandy or cherry liqueur. Mix that in, and that's looking nice. Certainly smelling nice, you naughty thing. I think I'm also putting a little pinch of salt. Why the salt is taking centre stage down there, I'm not sure, but anyway, there it is. And then I think the last thing is a teaspoonful of corn flour, which I forgot to tell you about. There we go. And there's my corn flour, and in that goes. That is about the extent of the cooking. Corn flour obviously helps thicken up the frangie a little bit, which is good because I think I put a little bit of extra booze in there, and it made it probably a little bit runny. Okay. And I'm starting to get the hang of these YouTube things. So now I'm going, frangipane. Like it? There we go. So that can stay there. Okie dokie, so we're going to put these galettes together. I've got a little, I think this is about a 9 centimetre, probably, what would that be, 3.5 inch cutter. And I am going to cut out as many as I can. Ultimately, as I said earlier, I'm looking to get 12 in total. I think this shouldn't be too tricky. So there's one in. There we go. I'm going to do them one tray at a time, so I don't take too much time on the cutting of the pastry. So there's 6. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to put a bit of glaze on the puff to make it nice and golden and hopefully all the more appetizing. That's a tablespoon of milk and 1 egg. This is a fork. This is me mixing my egg and my milk. Quick, 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 quick. And there's that. I'm now going to get my, if I can find it. You see, I'm so disorganised. No, I'm not. There it is. I knew it was there. And sploshy, sploshy on all of those. And there's a bit left for the others. So that's the glaze. Then what we are going to do is we're going to get another spoon. That looks like a good spoon. And we're going to put a little dollop of cherry jam on each of these. What you want to do is you want to get a layer, but you don't. Oh, that might be a bit too much actually. I'm going to have to do some quality control on that one. Come to Papa. There we go. You're trying, I'm not doing the best job here, but you're trying to keep the jam in the centre, and then you're going to spread it around a bit so that it looks like I guess sort of like a bullseye. You want the puff to be able to puff around the jam, so which is kind of what a galette usually looks like. The middle just being that little bit heavier. Okay. I am going to treat you to putting the bean in one of these. Don't tell anybody, because it's a secret, right? Whoever gets the bean gets to be the king. So I'm going to put it in that one there. Nice. And then on top, I'm going to put another dollop. I'm going to get a spoon. I need a bit of control. Spatula is a bit too cumbersome, I think. And then I'm going to put the frangipane on top like that. Frangipane, I think, is one of my favourite things in the world. Make sure that bean is good and covered, otherwise you'll have members of your cheaty family spotting it and becoming a pretender, not a real king. But okay, so there's that. Ooh, tell me this isn't going to be divine. Tell me this is not going to be the most scrumptious thing you've ever had. Okay, that's that. So what we're going to do, I cut them in half, and then artfully, that wasn't artful, that was awful. Artfully put your cherries, 2 cut in half, on each of your galettios. I guess my presentation is what you'd call rustic. The way Granny used to make it. Granny probably had a few drinks by the look of things. Bonjour, bonjour. So all sorts of divine cherry goodness here. From the brandy, the jam, and these rather dubious looking canned cherries. They will go on top like that. Don't look at that one, and don't look at that one, but everything else should be alright. These are going to go into the oven for 20 minutes. Whatever you do, naughties, listen carefully. It's puff. Don't go peeking at it because it will bugger up your eyes. Leave it for a good 20 minutes and then take them out. Don't be peeking to see how it's doing. Okay, in they go. Here we go. And there. Can I do it that way? No. There they go. And 20 minutes. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, here we go, turn that off and let's have a look. I'm always a little bit jittery with puff, because if it's not cooked, ooh, oh my lord, sacre noodle, well what do you think? I thought they were going to have more of a ring around the outside. I hope my bloody bean has exposed itself. You bastard bean. But anyway, there you go. These are our mini cherry galettes des Rois from Luxembourg. And we'll wait for a little bit for them to cool down. I think if I put my teeth in those, it's not going to be pretty. And I think there might be cherries squirting in different directions. So we'll come back in a tick. But look at those. They're my little mini cherry galette des Rois from Luxembourg. And I'm going to try one. What I'm hoping to do here is I'm hoping to find the bean so that I can, I can parade around the house in a regal way. So let me just have a look. Let me see what I can find. They all look so tasty. I think I'm going to try this one. Yeah, it doesn't really smell of much. Ooh. Oh, I love puff. I think I've discovered the bean. The bean, why it's called the bean I don't know, because it's an almond, but I'm the king. And I'm going to say, off with their heads. But I'm going to try another bit because I want to get a bit of frangipane. It's the frangipane that does it. It's the frangipane, man. Yeah, I would give that a solid 9 out of 10. Really very light. Obviously very cherry-y, will go beautifully with a cup of tea. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thanks for coming on a trip to Luxembourg. Next stop is, well, who knows? We've finished the L's. That means we're on to the M's. So next time we'll be gallivanting around an M country. So we look forward to seeing you then. Maybe Ava will be here. Toodles, everybody. Should I? I could eat the one with the bean in it. Okay, we can do something silly with the bean.